Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I remain your resource person, Comrade Don Wokike. Please make sure you subscribe as you're watching this video. Today's topic is still going to emphasize on our normal neuroscience of psychiatry aspect of my topics or my courses. I've told you before that the neuroscience of psychiatry is the major, most critical aspect of psychiatry that need an in-depth concentration, because it's through this neuroscience aspect of psychiatry that we demystify and at the same time understand how the external environment relates with the internal environment, how our body responds to external stimulus, how those responses are being translated or transduced into electrical mechanism known as action potential before it will now undergo some release of neurotransmitter by the presynaptic terminals bundle. The presynaptic terminal bundle houses the neurotransmitters that can only be released by the stimulation of a particular neurotransmitters that is related to the external stimulation. And I say that these particular sensations can as well result to awareness and perception, which is just like a psychological knowledge about what is happening, or psychological response to external environment. That is where feeling and experience occur. This scenario have also been illustrated when we are talking about the chemical substances that are responsible for this transmission of impulses from the presynaptic part of the neurons to the postsynaptic aspect of the neurons, because of some essential processes that take place, which we are going to discuss today. Before a particular sensation will stimulate a neurotransmitter, for that neurotransmitter to influence the postsynaptic receptor sites in the postsynaptic neuron, that particular neurotransmitter must be in an amount that it can influence that neurotransmitter. So the minimal amount of a released neurotransmitter within the synaptic cleft, so that it can have the ability or the tendency or the pressure, or let me call it the awareness, or have the intensity to stimulate the postsynaptic receptor site, is called absolute threshold. Then sometimes there are some response that occur unaware, and most of these response occur as a result of subliminal stimulation or responses, which is the lower amount of a neurotransmitters released in the synaptic cleft that is not as concentrated or as full or as many to that of absolute stimulation. So we are trying to tell you that for you to have an absolute threshold, that means the action potential stimulation that will result to influx of a desired ion can be positive ion. Then when it is positive ion, remember there will be a depolarization of that cell, which will now lead to release of a neurotransmitter that is responsible. And this neurotransmitter that is responsible can be an excitatory neurotransmitter because it is a positive ion. Hence, it will now potentiate a process known as action potential. And for this action potential to take place, that means that receptive impulse or the impulse that is being received from external environment have translated to different ion which is desired in order to stimulate the interstitial and the extrastitial aspect of the neurotransmitter, leading to exchange of ions, hence resulting to action potential. And for this action potential to take place, that means there will be release of neurotransmitters in the synaptic left. And this neurotransmitter that is released in the synaptic left will be to an amount which it can have the capacity or the ability to influence the postsynaptic receptor sites. And for this minimal amount of these neurotransmitters found in the synaptic left that have the ability to influence the postsynaptic neuron is called the absolute threshold of a neuron. Then below absolute threshold, which is lower than the amount that we release, which an individual may not respond to it because we will not take cognizance of that particular responses or sensations. We say that particular stimulation is known as subliminal response or stimulation. So these are so many things that occur within the release of neurotransmitters. And remember, I told you before that major neurotransmitters are found or located or produced in the cell body, where the minor neurotransmitters are produced or secreted or synthesized in the axon or the synaptic terminal. So this also affects the release of these neurotransmitters. So if there is a minimal, let me say subliminal stimulation in the neuron, there is possibility of the release of those minor neurotransmitters that is found in the synaptic left, in the synaptic terminal and that of axon, because it is closer to the bundle and that of the synaptic cleft. Well, there must be a concentration of those neurotransmitters, concentration of that action potential to initiate the release of major neurotransmitters. And for this to occur is because of the position of where this neurotransmitter is found. And where is that position? In the cell body. And the cell body is far, very, very distal from the synaptic cleft or terminal vesicles or terminal bundles or synaptic terminal. Depends on a particular source. So for this process of action potential stimulation that will lead to release of neurotransmitter are more of electrical transmissions. Hence, transmissions is divided into two: electrical transmission and the what? Chemical transmission. So chemical transmission is start from where electrical transmission stop. This one occur as a result of the released neurotransmitters that have the ability to be influenced by the postsynaptic neuron.